Okay, I've been away for a week, basically, and was struggling with ideas of what to do for a video. So, just thought I'd do this, talk about last week. I will admit, I haven't watched an awful lot of wrestling this past week because basically I've been living in Liberty City. Anyone who is remotely interested in computer games, you must get the new GTA. It is unbelievable. But yeah, that's the last I'll say on that. So yeah, I haven't watched Raw, SmackDown or ECW in its entirety. I usually, if I can, try and go on TNA's website and see what happened on Impact, but admittedly I haven't bothered this week, and because of their TV deal over here being a bit stupid, I haven't seen it on TV either. So we'll just focus on the WWE for now. That seemed to have the most clear talking points. Speaking of talking, by the way, there was a little bit of fuss on the last video, there was about 2 or 3 comments about my accent. Admittedly there aren't too many people on here from Wales talking about wrestling or anything else, but I'm from Wales, it's how we talk, I can't help it, it's what my accent's like. Anyway, yeah. Now then, we had the whole William Regal thing and Kennedy's return. I think this is okay, and Kenny comes back from injury, or comes back from anything, this is from doing that film. He seems to get crappy food, he came back from the injury after he got super crazy, and now he's got William Regal, but with what they're doing with Regal, this is okay. This is a chance for him to kind of be like a tweener, half heel, half face, and I think people want to see face Kennedy, be entertaining. And yeah, I think this will be good for both of them. Should get Regal over more as a big heel, and hopefully can push Kennedy towards the WWE title. Maybe. Hopefully they won't keep the belt on Triple H all the way to get to WrestleMania to face off with Cena again, but hopefully, yeah, we'll see Kennedy with the WWE title as a face some point in 2008. We'll see. From the William Regal side of things, now I know a lot of people complain when he won King of the Ring, myself included. Some people said it was a good thing. Monoxide, fair play to him, said that this would be good, this would help establish him as a big heel, the heel general manager of Raw, and it has. And what he did last week only helped to do that. My problem with this was that, in my personal opinion, the King of the Ring is too prestigious to just give it to a guy who doesn't really wrestle to get him over as a heel general manager. I think there was other things they could have done to do that. You look at what they've done with Vicky Guerrero. Now obviously she's got the advantage of being a woman, you can have her be in a relationship with one of the superstars and whatever, but I think there was something along the lines of what they did with Vicky that they could have done with William Regal to get him over as a heel GM, instead of giving him King of the Ring, which I think could have been better suited going to Jericho to build the prestige of the IC title. Punk, he's a rising star, granted he's already got the briefcase. Umaga might have been even better suited for it. Anyway, so yeah, what happened there, and they didn't give away the ending of the Triple H Randy Orton match, so that's going to be a steel cage match now at Judgment Day. I personally don't think Orton and Triple H have great matches when they're in the ring together, but it'll be okay. In a steel cage, again, I think one problem they have is they seem to be away from each other for long periods and on the floor for quite long periods of their matches. In a steel cage, you won't be able to do it so much. There won't be so many rest periods, hopefully, and yeah, it should be a good match for what will probably be Triple H's first successful defense. If you don't include the one on Raw. So yeah, what they did with Regal, I agree with it. I think it was good. I don't like the way they gave him King of the Ring, but since then they did develop his character well with the whole Kennedy thing. Then the very next night we got on ECW, Mike Adamle and Taz walked off, and there's a lot, again, the fuss about this, whether or not this is real or not this is fake. I think it's a storyline. If it was real, they'd probably have fired him by now, wouldn't they? But there we are. I like how they've done it. The phrase that gets thrown around about the WWE quite often is insulting our intelligence, and I like how they haven't insulted our intelligence by admitting Mike Adamle is a piss poor commentator and needs to go. Not needs to go, you know what I mean? Just admitting he sucks, basically, and they haven't got any other options. They decided to put Joey Styles. That's my phone, by the way. I know my message too is a bit gay, but there we are. Yeah. with Joey Styles going to WWE.com, and they wanted him to fully focus on that, so they needed a new commentator, they ran out of options. There we are. And they admitted this, so they could do something out of this. Could be a decent thing. It's going to be worth watching ECW to see just how it goes, to see how much they touch on it, to see, you know, a lot of the superstars are taking a piss when they Matt Strikers mocked him. The Miz absolutely hammered him when he was on commentary a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, they can do some interesting stuff with this, maybe. But again, I think for anyone who was confused, let's be fair, this wasn't real. This was storyline, and again, I don't think it's the huge talking point that some people have made of it. One that is, though, and certainly is worth time talking about, and I'm glad we've got over 4 minutes to talk about it, is The Undertaker being stripped of the world title. This, for me, like, I'm not going to complain too much about this, because I think this is an okay idea. When he beat Edge to retain it, I was happy, because I think Edge has had his time as world champion now, and take another run. But I did get the overall feeling when I saw that match, when it finished, was right, this feud is done. They've done everything they can. They've had Hawkins and Ryder interfere multiple times. Vicky Guerrero's done everything she can to put everything in Edge's favour. This feud is done now. Bring out someone else. But the thing is, then I started thinking to myself, well, okay, who are they going to bring out? Batista? Please God, no. I'm struggling to name anyone else. Khali, please God, no. And then Big Show, who has lost to Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania and just barely beat Khali at Backlash. So I don't think he's ready yet for a world title feud with Taker. So you're being left with Edge again, who was the best in the ring of the bunch, and I think he's the best anyway, all round. But like I said, we've seen this over 2 pay-per-views now. We've seen the build-up to 2 pay-per-views between Edge and Taker. So do we want Edge and Taker again? I personally don't. So they've gone down the other road of doing something different. They've taken the belt off him. I think people don't need to worry. I think The Undertaker will be the next world champion one way or another, unless, of course, they just give it to Edge next week. And if they do, I don't think they keep it long. I hope they don't just give it to him next week. I think that'll ruin the title a little bit. They had a great match at WrestleMania, for main event match at WrestleMania. And then, you know, just over a month later, I was thinking, well, it doesn't mean very much anymore. So yeah, like I said, I hope that Undertaker is the next world champion. I think he will be. I think this, you know, I've heard 1 or 2 people mention this might be, you know, CM Punk's push now. They're going to keep the title vacant until Punk is over a bit more, and then he's just going to use the Money in the Bank and take the title. It's possible, but again, I don't see it. I would say if I was to put a bet on this, then I would say you're looking at The Undertaker being the next guy to win the title. So yeah, that was that in a bit of a nutshell last week. Another thing, since we've got a bit more time, I was thinking about doing this video just going on, you know, because I go on like wrestling sites to have a look at rumours every now and then, and I was going to, like, you know, do a sort of video where go and look over kind of websites, read some stuff, and, you know, obviously we got no guarantee that any of this stuff is going to happen because it's all rumours, but you know, just to throw it out there, see what people think about them. And the most interesting one I did read over the weekend was that apparently this is off a wrestling news website, this isn't a fact, it might happen, it might easily not, but apparently ECW superstars were given phone calls over the weekend being told they were going to be on Raw, and that apparently the entire ECW locker room will be on Raw for the start on Angle tonight. It could be interesting. I think it'd be good for ECW to get some exposure on the main WWE show, and again to build the prestige, not prestige, but, well, maybe prestige, I don't know, to build ECW up as bigger than what it is right now. I think after it nearly went out of existence, they've done well with what they've done with SmackDown, and the show has become a bigger deal. I think this would be good for it. Again, it would be exposure for CM Punk, for John Morrison, who is an amazing athlete and definitely needs mainstream exposure. Shelton Benjamin again, Kofi Kingston again is another guy, and The Miz can continue to hang on to John Morrison's coattails, and that'll be good for him. Anyway, that was the week in a nutshell.